Good morning. Welcome to Crossroads Yoga. Today we're going to start at the front of our mat. Come into your Tadasana. So feet, as always, are right beneath the hips. Knees are soft. Closing the eyes. Have a sense of from the ground up. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Have a sense of the sternum opening. Palms facing forward, and notice if there's strain in the shoulders and drop them. Creating space, tucking chin, feel long. In your mind's eye, imagine your spine from the base, right at the top of the buttocks, all the way up the curves as you come upward. And then it ends right at the base of the skull. And then take several deep breaths, bringing yourself here, bringing yourself present. Soften anywhere you can. And remembering that yoga is about yoking our mind and body together to become one. Bringing your mind here and now to this body. Setting an intention for yourself for this yoga practice. Devoting an hour of my day, of my time here. What is my intention in being here? And now inhaling, arms come up overhead, looking up at sky, touching fingertips. Exhaling, folding forward. As you land in your first forward fold, pausing here, maybe clasping elbows, maybe shifting from left side to right side, feeling into the body, into the spine. And then as you're ready, coming into stillness. And then releasing the arms, bringing the hands to the ground in front of you, straightening the knees, maybe sliding the hands up to the shins and flattening the back. Once again, in your mind's eye, feel the spine. And then exhale, fold forward once more, releasing the breath. And then inhale, taking a breath or two, rising up, palms overhead. And then add the curve to the back, reaching the arms back. Inhale. And then exhale, palms together in namaste. Bowing the head and pausing here. Beginning to awaken the body a little bit more. Feeling the focus. Arms rising up, palms touching, leaning back, opening through the front body. Exhale, folding forward, sliding all the way down. And then inhaling, hands to shins, flatten back once more. Really have a sense of tucking the chin and picturing in your mind's eye the spine, bringing the shoulders back and down, and the exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up, palms overhead, tilting back, reaching up and back at the same moment. Exhale, palms in namaste. Last one in this way, arms rising up, palms overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, hands to shins, Flatten back, tuck chin. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up, palms together overhead, folding back. Exhale, palms in namaste before the heart. Allow the whole body to completely surrender to this moment, softening through the jaws, the shoulders, the hips and knees, and raising arms once more. Exhale, fold forward. Hands come to ground. Inhale, right foot comes back. Drop the knee down, flatten the back foot. Have a sense of your front knee is right over the ankle and you're on your fingertips, and lengthen upward. You can wiggle that back knee back as far as body allows, sitting in a hope of opening, feeling the struggle of discomfort, if there is any, and sitting with it. Keep yourself sinking downwards, softening while lifting up through the spine. And then walking the hands backward, keeping the front foot initially on the ground and flat, and then raising the foot, but keeping the heel just where it is. And then aiming to straighten that front leg and fold forward. One more breath. Exhale, flattening down the front foot, walking back forward, coming up onto the back foot, pressing back with the back heel, front knee steady over ankle. One more breath here, and then take several steps or one big step, bring that front back leg, back foot up beside front. Pausing here, and then bringing hands to shins, flatten the back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up, palms overhead, touching, tilting backwards, opening front body. Exhale, hands in namaste. Closing eyes. Noticing if the mind wants to hop around, and harnessing gently, bringing it back here to be with your own body in this moment. Inhale, arms rising up, folding back. Exhale, sliding back down. And now this time, left leg comes back. Drop the left knee down to the earth. Flatten the back foot. Front knee over front ankle. Have a sense of landing here, creating the space so that your hips are at a place of not quite discomfort, perhaps, but opening up through the hips. This is about the hips opening. So pausing here on fingertips, and then keeping spine long and raising head up. And one more breath here. And then walking hands back, and then raising toes and foot, keeping heel where it is. flattening that front leg and then folding forward. Some people here can move all the way back and sit on their back leg. Most of us need to stay up. You can check that out. This is about knees and hips. So you can see when I come all the way back, I can fold forward. It's a different move than if I'm up in a lunge. So test that out for yourself, your own body, your own energy today. And wherever you are, taking one more breath, coming back up to the knee or to the lunge with the back knee, and then moving, flattening the front foot, walking hands forward, coming up onto the toes of the back foot, pressing with the back heel, and then bringing the back foot in with one or several steps so that your feet are hip distance apart. Hands coming to shins, flattening back, dropping forward. Inhaling, rising up, palms together overhead, curving backwards. Exhale. Palms together before the heart, closing eyes. Inhale, arms rising up, and then bringing hands to hips. Right foot comes back, turning slightly outward at 45 degrees. You're going to keep your hips facing the short or front end of the mat. So if you ended up turning, turn backwards and finding the right position for your back foot. Have a sense of the shoulders right over the hips and your hands are on your hips. Then you're going to bend the front knee over the front ankle. Feel yourself stable and then invite both arms to rise up. And then add that curve to the back as you look up at the sky. Drop the shoulders. Release the hands to the hips. And then we'll move into Virabhadrasana 2. So the front foot comes slightly towards the middle and the back foot opens up a little bit more. Finding the right length for you. Front knee over front ankle and then raising arms up. Looking out over front hand. Energetically, the thighs are reaching for each other. The mind is harnessed in the body and feeling present right here. Dropping the shoulders. And then windmilling the hands. Both hands come back on either side of the front foot, maybe heel toeing a little bit to the left. Coming into your runner's lunge, pausing here. Front knee over front ankle. On the toes of the back foot with the heel pressed outward. Bringing hands down flat. And then bringing that front foot back beside the back foot so you're in a plank here. Maybe knees are down, maybe knees are up. And then when you're ready, dropping knees, bringing nose down, bum comes up in the air, and sliding forward into your plank. Looking up at sky. Exhale, coming into downward dog. Maybe alternating the heels here. And then coming into stillness. Weight is at the base of the fingers. And then left foot comes up towards left hand. No, that's the wrong way. Bringing left foot back beside right, and then bring right foot up, the right hand. And then bring back foot at 45-degree angle and rising up. And then turning the hips so they're facing the short end of the mat, bring your hands to your hips. Front knee is over front ankle, and you're squaring shoulders on top of hips, front knee on top of ankle, back foot at 45 degrees. We're in Virabhadrasana 1, raising the arms up as you're ready, looking up at sky. One more breath here. And then we're going to move into Virabhadrasana 2. So the arms come out. The front foot comes a little bit more towards the center and perhaps a slightly wider stance. Front knee over front ankle, arms reaching out. Have a sense if you're drifting forward, a little bit of coming back so you feel solid and engaged here. And then releasing, both feet pointing forward. Wide angled forward fold, so feet are coming out. And then move them so they're straight forward. And then turn them in slightly so they're pigeon-toed. Just a little bit. And now we're going to slide down to a forward fold and then raising arms of either side. So keeping knees a little bit soft here. Begin to slide down, taking your time, tuning into what the body needs right now. All the way down to the ankle, to the maybe the shins or the ankles or the feet. Maybe you need to widen your feet a little bit more. Bringing the hands between the feet. And then invite the back to flatten if your back has gotten round. Have a sense of, what do I need? Sometimes we can lift the head up a little bit, come onto the fingertips and flatten the back. And then drop back forward. And now you're going to bring both hands to right shin, ankle, foot. And then raise the left arm, the same leg that your hands are on, up to the sky. And then looking up to meet your thumb, if you can. One more breath. And then releasing, bringing hands back to center. And then bringing both hands to opposite foot. And then raising same arm as you're on the leg. And then looking up at arm, looking up at hand. And then releasing, coming back to center with hands in the middle. Take away the pigeon toe and just have the feet facing forward And then lean into the left leg. So the left leg is bent and you're straightening out. So you're leaning farther over to the left side. And then back to center and then opposite side. Most of us feel that on the inside around the knee, the shin, the inner thigh. Back to center. Bringing hands up to hips. And turning feet out so they're at 45 degrees. And begin to sit down. We're not going all the way to seated, but I'm not gonna go that far because my knees aren't great. If your knees aren't great, you stay a bit higher. If you've got no problem, you can sit lower. And then invite your arms to come up, palms facing your ears. Goddess. And here you can imagine a central channel from the top of your spine all the way to the base of your perineum. A sense of opening up, being a channel for all that is, allowing hope and love and spirit to guide you. I am here. I am alive. I am awake. And then straightening the legs and bringing the arms out into five-pointed star. And imagining yourself, closing eyes for a moment. Imagining yourself as one of the great stars. There's 200 million stars in this small galaxy, just in this galaxy. And then releasing hands to hips. And heel toe the feet in until your feet are hip distance apart. Hands are on hips. Bringing the weight to the right foot. Engaging the thigh. And then come to the toes of the left foot and then raise that leg up. And then turning it outward. Back into center. And then wrap it around the other leg, wrap it around the leg. You can keep your toes on the ground like I am, but if you don't have to, don't. If you can wrap it around. And then invite your hand can start in namaste, but you can invite the right arm to come under the left and wrap it around. Bring the palms before and then press the arms up. We're in eagle now. One more breath here. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs. Coming back up and bringing your weight to the opposite foot. Come on to the toes. Raise that leg up. Turning it outward. Kind of warming up the hip here. Bringing it back to center and then wrapping it around the other leg. You can bend down a little bit with that other leg and then now the left comes under the right. Clasping the hands if they reach and then raising the arms up towards the sky. You can keep the toe on the ground if that's helpful. One more breath. Dropping the foot, bringing the hands to the hips. And then let's just shake everything out. Release all the tension, all the muscles of your body. And we'll finish our standing postures with some sideways hold. So bring the feet back so they're hip distance apart. The left arm comes up first and lean to the side. Allow this arm to drop down, the one that's straight down. Reach down for the knee. And then keep leaning over, palm facing out. Returning back to center and then opposite side. And then coming back up, pausing here for a breath. And then we're going to move on to our belly. I can invite you to go with me into a way that we're going to come forward. So coming to the back of your mat, bring your hands down to the ground, folding forward, knees are soft. And then bring your hands forward and begin to just gently walk forward, keeping the feet on the ground. You're going to walk forward until your hands are at the front and you're in plank, knees down or up. And then if your knees are still up, you're going to drop them. You're going to drop your nose, and then you're going to drop the whole body, bringing the arms up, turning onto one cheek. Take several deep in-breaths here. And then bring your forehead to the mat. Your hands are beside your chest. The closer your feet are together, the more intense it is. So you can go all the way to the outside of your mat, in between, or feet close together. Elbows are in close to ribs, pressing down with the pubic bone. And then inhale, raising forehead with no pressure on the hands, rising up into cobra, baby cobra, pressing down with the pubic bone. Feet are on the earth, looking up at sky, inhaling, and then exhale, forehead comes back. We're going to add to this movement, bringing palms down beside you out in A, widening feet a little bit so they're closer to the edge of the mat. And then inhale, raise head, shoulders, arms, and legs. If there's any sharp pinging in the lower back, then of course you come out of this. And then releasing. One more, just the same, raising forehead, shoulders, arms, and legs. Big, deep breaths. And then release back down. And we're going to move right into child's pose. So rising up, we're going to do traditional child's pose. That's an antidote, if you will, to all that back that we just did. So bring the knees and ankles together and bring your body back over. So your butt's thumb is heading towards the heels. The hands come down so that they're close into the calves and feet. And then bring the forehead down. Invite the whole body to relax. Taking another breath here. And then coming into the other child's pose. So knees come wide apart, feet come together. And then bring the buttocks back. The hands come out ahead of you and the forehead comes to ground. Now moving the whole torso towards the right, the arms reaching out. And then shift to the opposite side. And then back to center. Coming up into table on hands and knees. Anchor yourself in. Your feet are flat with your shins. Your knees are under hips. Hands are right under shoulders, looking down between hands. Sense of beginning to do cow and cat. As you inhale, looking up at sky, dropping the spine. Closing eyes if that's comfortable for you, and moving into cat. And then allowing your breath to be the guide over the next moment or two as you move through cat and cow. And then one more each way. Coming back to center. Walking hands forward and bringing right foot up, outside of right hand. And then anchoring yourself so that you're in a kind of lunge, but the right foot is farther out than usual, closer to the edge of the mat. Both the hands are on the inside. The knee is over the ankle, and begin to turn that front foot on the outside of the foot is in lizard. Just kind of have a sense of, you can move it in and out a few times, almost like rocking it back and forth. How does this feel on the thigh, the hip, the knees? And then if it feels right, just leave the foot turned onto its right side, just pausing here. Turning back so you're mostly still in table, just with that right foot floating on the outside. One more breath here, and then bringing that foot back. And then bringing that knee back beside the other knee, so you're back in table. And then the left foot's going to come out to the outside of the left hand. And then begin to Rock that to the outside of the left foot, back and forth. And then, if it feels right, then land on the outside of the left foot. Pausing here. One more breath here. And bringing that foot back. And then bringing that front foot back so that you're back in table. And then we're going to turn so that we're seated on our bums with our legs stretched out. Pausing here with feet flat, palms either on thighs or down beside hips. Rolling shoulders back, lengthening through spine, closing eyes. Deep, full breaths. Reminding self of intention. Why am I here? And then bringing hands to thighs. Begin to slide down. Keeping eyes closed. Nose is coming towards knees. Maybe pausing and lengthening the spine and then continuing to drop forward and land wherever your body lands. And take one big inhale and exhale through the nose. And then drop forward into your forward fold. Coming into stillness. Continually harnessing the mind, bringing it back to this present moment, just as you are. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do but be here right now with yourself. And taking 3 more breaths right here. And then as you're ready, taking your time, walking back up. Bringing hands first beside you, fingertips towards the feet, and then walk the hands back a few so that they're under the shoulders, and then bring the feet to standing. We're going to do the reverse of table. So invite your torso up, knees are over ankles, Shoulders over hands. Perhaps your neck needs to stay looking forward, or you can drop it back. And then exhale, coming back to seated. And remember when we were doing standing eagle? So we're going to do the same arms here, and you can sit in straight forward cross-legged, or you can bring your knees stacked on top of each other if that fits for your body. It depends on the body, and so either way is just fine. And then both arms come up, right arm comes under left arm, and reach around. Pause just for a little hug of the self, the shoulders, and then wrap around so that the palms come together. If they don't come together, the back of the hands can come. If they do come together, just have a sense of dropping in here a little bit. And then raising the shoulder, raising the elbows up so that they're coming up to the sky. The palms are reaching up, closing eyes, tucking chin. Spine is long. And then releasing the arms back, pausing to hug yourself once more. Maybe just kind of have a sense of being here with yourself. And then release the arms. And now the right arm comes up behind. You might help it over with the elbow. And then you're going to reach around behind and reach up towards the fingers. Your arms, your fingers might touch or they might not. Press back a little bit with the head. One more breath here. And then releasing the arms. And then on whether you're sitting cross-legged or knees stacked, bringing feet forward and then moving side to side. One more each way. And now back to center. And if you were sitting cross-legged, then put the other leg out in front. And if you were sitting knees stacked, then bring the opposite knee stacked. I can't do this side because my knee's a little sore. I'm going to come into cross-legged. So now we're going to do the eagle's arms again. So instead of the right arm, I'm going to put the left arm under. All right. Yes. Left arm under right. And then bringing the palms toward each other and then straightening them out. And then reaching up, pushing the elbows, pressing the elbows up with the fingertips, reaching. Spine is long, chin is tucked, breath is long. And then releasing. This time the left hand comes behind. And the right arm reaches around. And then pressing back with the head. Have a sense of dropping that right shoulder while you're reaching up with the hand. One more breath here. And then releasing legs. And then we'll finish with a seated spinal twist before we go on to our backs. So you might want to so let's bend the right leg. Let's cross it over the left. The foot, the sole of the foot is on the ground. If you want to bend the left leg, as long as both sits bones stay on the ground and the foot stays flat, then feel free to do that. Or you can leave this left leg out, it matters not. Clasping the right shin, lengthening through spine, left hand stays holding or comes up to the outside of the knee. Right arm comes up and behind like a kickstand, and then turning belly, ribs, shoulders, and neck. Spine stays long. And releasing back to center. And then switching to the other side. Left leg over right. Perhaps right leg stays out or tucks under, your choice. Clasping left knee towards chest. Figuring out what you want to do with your hands, either the hand on the knee or shin or the right elbow crossed over. Left hand rises up and comes. Kickstand behind you. Turning belly, ribs, shoulder, and neck. The purpose of that little hand kickstanding is to press us slightly upwards so the spine stays long. One more breath. And slowly turning back to center. And then coming on to your back with your knees into your chest. Chin is tucked and rocking side to side. And now both legs come straight up. And then bring left foot to standing, right foot stays straight up, clasping behind the calf or behind the thigh. And then invite that leg to stay straightish and come towards the chest. Tucking chin, dropping shoulders, breathing. And then bringing leg back up so it's straight out of its socket, still holding by thigh or calf. And then add circles slower than you can imagine. This isn't a race. As you're turning, you're closing your eyes if that's comfortable and feeling into what's going on in the foot, the shin, the hip, keeping the neck tucked, changing direction. And then dropping that right ankle to the left thigh just below the knee. And then bringing both legs in towards chest, clasping thigh or shin. If you flex the right foot, it can protect the knee a little bit here. Drawing it in, maybe you're rocking side to side a little bit here, kind of feeling in to where is best for you for this body today. And then coming back into stillness. And then dropping Left foot down. And then right leg presses, bottom of right leg to top of right. You're sitting cross-legged, bringing arms out into T and shifting hips to the right. Dropping both legs to the left. Adjust yourself so both shoulder blades are down, palms are on the earth. And when you feel ready, if it's right for you, turn and look over the right shoulder. If there's intensity in the hips or the thighs, you can add a pillow or a block beneath your knee. One more breath, and then returning back to center. Shifting so that the hips are once again in the center of the mat. Left leg comes straight up and clasping, and then turning circles with the ankle. First one way, and then the other. And then left ankle comes on right thigh just below the knee, and then drawing both legs towards the chest, clasping thigh or shin. Maybe rocking side to side. Before coming into stillness. And then dropping the right foot down. Arms come out into T, crossing left leg over right, shifting hips to the left, dropping both legs to the right, taking a moment to flatten the shoulder blades and the palms, and then looking over left shoulder. And then taking one more full breath and coming back to center. Feet reaching out, closing eyes and preparing for your Savasana. Eyes are closed. Whole body completely surrendered. And then slowly, slowly, as you're ready, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. Maybe turning the head from side to side. And then rolling onto your side and pausing there for a breath or two before coming up to center. Taking your time, palms in namaste before the heart. Bowing head in gratitude for all that you are, for all that you have, for this body that works as it does. And I have a reading for you today from Brene Brown from Atlas of the Heart. And she says, hope is a function of struggle. We develop hope not during the easy or uncomfortable times, No, not during the easy or comfortable times, but through adversity and discomfort. So thank you as always for joining me. It's an honor to be with you in this yoga practice. And I look forward to seeing you the next time we come together. Thank you.